Good morning, students. Welcome to the English class. As you all know that we were reading lesson number 2, A Gift of Chappals. We have already read its first part and today we will read its second part. Mridu crept up to the window. Lali was sitting a little distance away, awkwardly holding her violin and bolstering her elbows, jutting out of her eyes, glazed with concentration. In front of her, with most of his back to the window, was the bony figure of the music master. He had a mostly bald hat with a fring of oiled black hair falling around his ears and an old fashioned tuft. A gold chain gleamed around his leathery neck and a diamond ring glittered on his hand as it glided up and down the stem of the violin. A large foot stuck out from beneath his gold bordered vesty edge, and he was beating time on the floor with the scrawny big toe. मृदु खिड़की से जो है वो धीरे धीरे वहाँ तक आती है. लल्ली थोड़ी दूर पर बैठी हुई थी, अपनी वायलिन को भद्दे ढंग से पकड़े हुए, और उसकी कहानियाँ जो है वो बाहर की ओर निकली हुई थी. उसकी आँखें चमकती हुई. उसके टीचर के सिर पर बहुत ज़्यादा तेल लगा हुआ था, काले बाल जो कानों पर गिरे हुए थे और एक पुराने ढंग से गुच्छे के रूप में. एक सोने की चेन उसकी नेक के चारों तरफ चमक रही थी और हीरे की अंगूठी उसके हाथ में चमक रही थी. तो ये सब जो है वो वहाँ की उनकी सिटिंग सिचुएशन के बारे में है. He played a few notes. Lali stumbled behind him on her violin, which looked quite helpless and unhappy in her hands. What a difference! The music master's notes seemed to float up and settle perfectly into the invisible tracks to the melody. It was like the wheels of a train fitting smoothly into the rails and whizzing along. As Ravi said, Mridu started at that huge bringed hand moving effortlessly up the violin stem, making lovely music. Squawk! There was Lali dealing again. Amma, came a wail from the gate. Amma, oh! Ravi sent that beggar away, cried his mother from the back veranda where she was chatting with Tapi. उन्होंने कुछ धुन बजाई, म्यूज़िक टीचर ने और उस लली ने. तो उस टीचर की बजाई हुई जो म्यूज़िक था वो कुछ इस तरह से लग रहा था जैसे एक अदृश्य पटरियों पर फिरती बैठती हुई कोई ट्रेन. जैसे एक गाड़ी के पहिए पटरी पर फिट बैठते हों और कोमल ध्वनि करते हुए चल रहे हों. रवि ने कहा. मृदु ने उस बड़े अंगूठी वाले हाथ को आराम से सारंगी पर चलते हुए और सुंदर संगीत पैदा करते हुए देखा. लल्ली जब उसको वायलिन को प्ले करती है तो अल्टीमेटली उसकी जो टोन है वो अपने टीचर की तरह परफेक्ट ना होते हुए पटरी से उतर जाती है. इतनी ही देर में अम्मा गेट से कोई एक चिल्लाहट की आवाज़ आती है. रवि, उस भिखारी को दूर भेजो. उसकी माँ बरामदे से चिल्लाई जहाँ वो तापी के साथ बातें कर रही थी. And after that, he has been coming here every day for the past week. वो जो beggar है वो last week से वहाँ पर आ रहा था. And it's time he found another house to beg from. पाती explained to तापी. पाती ने तापी से कहा कि अब उसको कोई और घर देख लेना चाहिए, वो हमेशा हमारे घर begging के लिए आता है. Mridu and Meena followed Ravi out. The beggar was already in the garden, making himself quite at home. He had spread his upper cloth under the neem tree and was leaning against its trunk, apparently prepared to take a little snooze while he waited for the amps to appear. Go away, said Ravi sternly. My Pati says it's time you found another house to beg from. The beggar opened his eyes very wide and gazed at each of the children one by one. The ladies of this house, he said at last in a voice choked with feeling, are very kind souls. I have kept my body and soul together on their generosity for a whole week. I cannot believe that they would turn me away. He raised his voice. Amma, Amma, oh, said his will might be, but it certainly wasn't fable. It began in a deep, strong rumble somewhere in his withered belly and came booming out of his mouth with its few remaining teeth stained brown with betel chewing. Ravi, tell him there is nothing left in the kitchen, called Rukumani, and he is not to come again. Tell him that. She sounded fed up. भिखारी को इस बात पर विश्वास ही नहीं हो रहा था कि घर की लेडीज़ उसे खाना देने से मना कर सकती हैं, क्योंकि वो जानता था कि वो सब बहुत काइंड हार्टेड हैं. बट स्टिल जबकि बच्चे उसको वहाँ से भगा रहे थे तो उसने इसी चीज़ में उचित समझा. इतनी ही देर में रुक्मणी ने क्या आवाज़ लगाई, रवि उसको बोल दो कि रसोई में कुछ नहीं बचा है और उसे दोबारा यहाँ नहीं आना है. ऐसा लग रहा था कि जैसे वो उससे तंग हो चुकी है. रवि, टेल हिम there is nothing left in the kitchen, called Rukumani, and he is not to come again. Tell him that. She sounded fed up. Ravi didn't have to repeat it all to the beggar. What his mother said had been easy for them all to hear. There under the neem tree, the beggar sat up and sighed. I'll go, he said wearily. Only let me have a rest here under this tree. The sun is so hot, the tar has melted on the road. My feet are already blistered. He stretched out his feet to show large pink peepling blisters on the soles of his bare feet. I suppose he don't have the money to buy chappals. Mridu whispered to Meena. Ravi, have you got an old pair in the house somewhere? I don't know, said Ravi. Mine are too small to fit his feet, or I would have given them to him. And his feet were large than Mridu's and Meena's. The beggar was shaking out his upper cloth and tightening his dhoti. He raised his eyes and looked fearfully at the road gleaming in the afternoon heat. He needs something on his feet, Meena said, her big eyes filling. It's not fair. Shh, Saki Ravi. I'm thinking about it. Blubbering. It's not fair. It's not fair. Isn't going to help. In 2 minutes he'll be frying his feet on that road. What he needs in a pair of chappals. So where do we get them? Come, let's search the house. He pushed Mridu and Meena into the house. Just as she stepped into the veranda, Mridu's eyes fell on the odd-looking chappals she had noticed when she arrived. Ravi was whispered to him, "Whose are those?" Ravi turned and glanced at the shabby-looking but sturdy old slippers. He beamed and nodded. "These are just the right size," he said, picking them up. Mridu and Meena followed him nervously back into the garden. "Here," said Ravi to the beggar, dropping the slippers in front of the old man, "wear these and don't come back." The beggar started at the slippers hurriedly, flung his towel over his shoulders, pushed his feet into them, and left, muttering a blessing to the children. In a minute, he had vanished around the corner of the street. एक्चुअली जब बच्चों ने उस बैगर को वहाँ से भगाना चाहा तो बैगर ने भी अपनी जेन्युइन प्रॉब्लम उनके सामने रखी कि अगर उसके पास चप्पल नहीं थी, वो कहता है कि इतनी स्कॉर्ची हीट में अगर वो बाहर निकल जाता है, ऐसा लग रहा है कि जैसे रोड्स पर भी जो है वो ब्लैक ब्लैक जो तारकोल होता है, उसको ऐसा फील हो रहा था कि जैसे वो तारकोल भी मेल्ट हो रहा है। दैट वाज नॉट रियली, बट उसको ऐसा फील हो रहा था बिकॉज समर में बहुत तेज़ धूप थी उस आफ्टरनून में। इसीलिए वो कहता है कि थोड़ी सी धूप कम हो जाए, उसको नंगे पाँव जाना है तो वो रोड पर कैसे जाएगा। इसलिए उसने कहा कि थोड़ी देर बाद वो वहाँ से अपने आप चला जाएगा। बट बच्चों ने उसकी हेल्प करने की सोची और उन्होंने एक पुराना पेयर चप्पल का ढूंढ कर लाकर उसको दे दिया। एंड आफ्टर दैट अब हम ये देखते हैं कि वो चप्पल किसकी थी। द म्यूज़िक मास्टर केम आउट ऑफ द हाउस एंड टुक एन unappreciative look at the three of them sitting quietly under the tree playing marbles. Then he searched for his chappals in the veranda where he had put them. "Lali," he called after a few moments. She hurried up to him. "Have you seen my chappals, my dear? I remember having kept them here." Ravi, Mridu and Meena silently watched Lali and the music master search every corner of the veranda. He scurried around, looking over the railing and crouching near the flower pots to look between them. Brand new they were. "I went all the way to Mount Road to buy them," he went on saying. "They cost a whole month's fees. Do you know?" Soon Lali went in to tell her mother. Rukumani appeared, looking harassed, with Pati following her. Where could they be? It's really quite upsetting to think someone might have stolen them. So many vendors come to the door, worried Pati. Rukumani caught sight of Ravi, Mridu and Meena sitting under the tree. "Have you children?" she began, and then, seeing they were curiously quiet, went on more slowly. "Seen anyone lurking around the veranda?" A sharp V-shaped line had formed between her eyebrows. Another straight, tighter one appeared in place of her usually soft, pleasant mouth. Rukumani was angry, thought Mridu with a shiver. She wouldn't be so upset if she knew about the poor beggar with sores on his feet, she tried to tell herself. Taking a deep breath, she cried, "Rukumani, there was a beggar here. Poor thing, he had such boils on his feet." "So," said Rukumani grimly, turning to Ravi, "you gave the music master's chappals to that old beggar who turns up here. Children these days," groaned Pati. जैसा कि हम सभी जानते हैं कि मदर्स नोज एवरीथिंग अबाउट देयर चाइल्ड, इसी तरह से वो मदर भी पहचान गई कि उसके बच्चों ने कोई शरारत की है। उन्होंने ही म्यूज़िक टीचर की चप्पल जो हैं वो उस बैगर को दे दी होंगी, जो कि यहाँ पर अभी आया था और जो बोल रहा था कि उसके पैरों के नीचे छाले हो गए हैं और वो इतनी गर्मी में कैसे चलेगा रोड पर। इसके बाद, अम्मा, डिडंट यू टेल मी अबाउट करना हु गेव away everything he had, even his gold earrings? He was so kind and genius. Silly, snapped Rukumani. Karna didn't give away other people's thing. He only gave away his own. जब ये बात रवि ने कही तो अम्मा को बहुत गुस्सा आया। रवि ने क्या कहा कि माँ, आपने ही तो महाराजा कर्ण के बारे में बताया था हमें कि वो अपनी सारी चीज़ें दान कर दिया करते थे। तो अम्मा को इतना गुस्सा आया, उन्होंने उसको एक थप्पड़ लगाया, स्लैप किया और कहा कि महाराजा कर्ण अपनी चीज़ें दान करते थे, दूसरों की उठा उठा कर नहीं दे देते थे। बट माई चप्पल्स वुडेंट हैव फिट द बेगर्स फीट। रवि ने ब्रेवली क्या कहा कि लेकिन मेरी चप्पलें उसके पैरों में फिट नहीं आती थी। रवि रश्ड ब्रशली ऑन एंड अम्मा, इफ दे डिड फिट वुड यू रियली नॉट हैव माइंडेड? रवि said Rukumani, very angry now. Go inside this minute. She hurried indoors and brought out Gopu Mama's hardly worn new chappals. These should fit you. Sir, please put these on. I am so sorry. My son has been very naughty. The music master's eyes lit up. He put on, trying not to look too happy. Well, I suppose these will have to do. These days, children have no respect for elders. What to do? A Hanuman incarnate on. Only Ram can save such a naughty fellow. Rukumani's eyes flashed. She didn't seem to like Ravi being called a monkey, even a holy monkey. She stood stiff and straight by the front door. It was clear she wanted him to leave quietly. When he had clattered off in his new chappals, she said, Mridu, come in and have some tiffin. Honestly, how do you children think of such things? Thank God your Gopu Mama doesn't wear his chappals to work. As she walked towards the kitchen with Mridu and Meena, she suddenly began to laugh, but he is always in such a hurry to throw off his shoes and socks and get into his chappals as soon as he comes home. What's your mama going to say this evening when I tell him I gave his chappals to the music master? It's a very funny talk.